Okay, so we're going to go through this breadth-first traversal of this graph up here. Just give ourselves a bit more room here. And this is the algorithm down here for breadth-first traversal. We're using the iterative breadth-first traversal. And this is the table. So here we go. So let's start off by saying that we're going to do breadth-first traversal with the graph G. Let's just write that in. That seems to have gone missing here. And the starting vertex V, which we're going to have starting as A. So we're going to pass in this graph, and we're going to start with the node A, or the vertex A. So it says create a QQ. So we've done that. That's sitting here. Q.NQV. So of course V is A. So we're going to NQ our A. There it is. And now it says while the Q is not empty, it clearly isn't empty, we just put an A in it. So T gets assigned to the DQ. So we're going to assign T to, to DQing the Q. So that becomes that. And then the Q then becomes empty because we've DQ'd it. And notice that I've put this T down here because at the same time, inside the while loop, I'm going to DQ the Q. So it seems sensible to put these on the same line here. And then it says output t.label. So I'm going to output my A, which I might just give us a little bit more room for the output there. Right, okay. Now, for each node W connected to T, so remember T is what we have as A. So what are the things that are connected to A? Well, in alphabetical order, they're B up here and F. Okay, so for both the B and then the F, so B first, if B is not visited, well, it isn't visited. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Let's just go back up here. When I NQ'd V, I forgot to mark V as visited. So in this line here that I'm holding my mouse over. So I'm sorry, at that point, my visited list should have an A in it. Okay, so now we're going down here. So here's my T, that's A, output my label here. And now for each node W connected to A, so that's the B and the F. So we'll start with the B. If B is not visited, well, B is not visited, then mark it as visited. So now my visited list has got both an A and a B in it. And NQ my B. So my Q now is going to have my a B in it. In fact, I won't put it in a list. I'll just write the B there. And then we're going to go around to the next one, which is F. So if F is not visited, mark it as visited. So now my visited list is ABF. And then I'm going to NQ my F. So my Q now, remember the Q goes at the back. So this is the front of the Q, this side. That's that done. So we come out of the for loop, back up to the while loop. It says while Q is not empty. Well, the Q certainly isn't empty. It's got B and an F in it. So assign T to the DQ'd Q. So we're going to output our T. So that's DQing the B because they leave from the front. And our Q now is going to be F because the B has left the Q. And then it says output t.label. Well, T is B, so this is B. So our output now is A, then B. And then for each W connected to B, so what's connected to B? Well, F is connected to B, and C is connected to B. So we're going to do C, F in that order because it's alphabetical. C, then F. So W is C. Is C already visited? No, it's not. So we're going to mark C as visited. So now we've got A, B, F, C. And then we're going to NQ W. So our Q now has got F and this C in it that we just NQ'd. So that was the B. And now we're going to do the same thing with the other connection to B, which was F. So this F is connected. So it says if W is not visited. Well, it is visited. There it is in that list. So we just ignore that there. And then go back up to the while loop. While Q is not empty, well, it isn't empty. It's got F and C in it. And again, F is the front. So we're going to assign T to being what's at the front of the queue. So I've written T there again. So that should be our F. And then we're going to dequeue the F from the Q. So the Q's just got a C in it. And then we're going to output the label. So we've just outputted T.label, which is F. So we've got A, B, F. And now for each node connected to F, so what's connected to F? A and B. But they're both in the visited list already, so we don't do anything here because they're both already visited. Back up to the queue, while queue is not empty, it's got a C in it, so it's not empty. And we're going to set T to be dequeued. So T is going to be the C, which is in the thing, and this is now empty now. Q is now empty. And it says output T.label. So we're going to output the C. So that's A, B, F, C. And then we're going to say if W is, so for each node connected to C, so what's connected to C? B, D, and E. B, D, and E. Okay, so we're only going to mark as visited an NQ if they're not already visited. So B is already visited, there it is, and D is not, so we need to mark that as visited. So our visited list is now A, B, F, C, D. Okay, and we're going to NQ that D. So our Q now is D. Back around again. Remember what we were, our connected nodes to C. We've done the D. Did the B, that was already connected. Visited, sorry. Done the D now. Now we're going to do the E. So it's not connected, so we're going to mark it as connected. So our visited list now, I've got a lot of room here. Let's just, I don't know if I can open that. Oh, possibly not. Okay, so I've not got a lot of room. So I'm visiting E now. So I'm not going to draw the commas. A, B, F, C, D, E. And then I'm going to NQ that E. So now my Q goes D, E. And then back up to the top again, while Q is not empty, dequeue it. So T now is D. In fact, we're going to put that down there. Let's just put an empty, another thing on the table, and I'm going to just move this algorithm down a little. Here we go, down a bit. Okay, so we've dequeued our Q. So T becomes what's on the front of the queue, and we dequeue our Q, so Q's now only got E in it. We dequeued the D. And then we output T.label, so that's D. So now our output is A, B, F, C, D. And then we're going to, for each connected node to D, and what's connected to D? Only, oh no, nothing is connected to D, so there was nothing to do there. We go back to the top of the while loop, while Q is not empty. Well, it isn't empty, it's got an E in it. So output, sorry, not output, we're going to dequeue the Q and assign it to T. So T is now going to be E, and our Q is now going to be empty. And then it says output T.label, so that's now going to be A, B, F, C, D, E. And then it's saying for each connected node to E, well, the only thing that's connected is C, but C is already visited, so we don't do anything in this for loop. And that is the end, because the while loop says while Q is not empty. Well, Q is empty now, so we stop. So that's our answer.